Ben, we're here this morning in the marquee with the team who are preparing for the first pre-season friendly, but unfortunately it's been called off. Just talk us through the process of calling games off, and do you talk to the coaches? How does that come about?
Yeah, so I mean, we're dictated a lot by the weather, obviously. We've had a really tough winter with frost and just a lot of rainfall. We've barely had 24 hours without any rain. So it's quite an obvious one this time, but I had a little chat with Paul earlier and we just deemed it just a bit unsafe to get a full match out there, but if we can get them out just doing a bit of training, that'd be great.
And as we mentioned, we're here in the marquee with the boys training. They were preparing for the game, but this is something that you set up in the winter so that they can train in all weathers. How does this process work, and what's the operation like pulling this all together?
Yeah, it adds a bit onto the season, but so we just after Christmas we'll start covering up the net area where the marquee goes up, and then so the marquee comes, and I think it was like middle of January this year, and then we had a whole month of trying to get the pitches dry enough for them to be in. This is now into the last week of doing it. I think it's been really positive again, and we just it's not to push it too hard. It is still January, February. Yeah. It's bit by bit trying to dry them out with big heaters, dehumidifiers. So yeah.
Cool. And in terms of preparing the square and the main pitch, obviously once the season ends, your job kind of gets underway for next season. Yeah. Then talk about that and how busy it is and what you need to do from once the season ends to when the season starts again.
Yeah, so it's probably as busy as any other week. You're trying to put the whole ground to bed as quick as you can, because it's October by the time we finish now. So we rip out as much thatch as we can off the square, off the outfield. We've had two big kind of procedures on the outfield the last couple of years, taken a lot of the thatch, the organic layer out of the outfield. That's why it's probably a little bit thin this year, because we've had such a horrible winter, but it's sort of throughout the year, it varies in winter. Every winter is very different. Last year we had a very mild winter, so we cut throughout pretty much. This year we've managed to get out 3 or 4 times. That's where it's just been a slow winter this time round, but we're getting there.
Cool. And in terms of preparing pitches and preparing the middle, I know that's your responsibility, but how much input do the coaches have? Do they say to you, look, we want this kind of wicket, or is that down to you and your team?
It's mainly down to me and my team. I have little chats with Paul, and I've been quite lucky here. It's always just produce the best pitch you can, and that's what we want to do. So it's mainly just you go ahead and hopefully it's good enough.